All right, Contagon 2026. Are you ready to go back to the most peculiar part of the DC universe? All right, like I said, I'm going to bring them on out and have a brief conversation with them, then I'll jump out and try to take as many of your questions as we can squeeze on in. Just remember, one question at a time. Questions need to be directed towards both of our guests, and no requests for hugs or any of that stuff. So without further ado, our first guest, he's an actor whose credits include Raven's Home, World War Z Outbreak, and The Kroll Show. Today he joins us to discuss the role of Ripley, aka Judo Master. Please welcome Nali! His body of work includes Pitch Perfect, Game of Thrones, and the Harry Potter film series. Today he joins us to discuss the role of Adrian Chase, aka Vigilante. Please welcome Freddie Stroma! Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us here this weekend.
Thanks for having us.
No, please. Hope you're having a good time with us. We certainly have so far. Woo, indeed. So, what I always start this off with is I like to go into the origin stories. In this case, how did the casting process work for both of you for these roles?
Yes, I'll start. Hi. For casting for Judo Master, I remember my manager saying, "Hey, we have a James Gunn project. All we know is John Cena's attached to it. That's all we know. We're gonna send your stunt reel into them because the character is very martial arts intensive." So we send that in, and then I get a call back in a few days, and I'd just gotten out of the dentist, and so my mouth was like all numb, and she was like, "Hey, so this character doesn't really fight with weapons, and all of my stunt reel had a lot of weapons in it. So can you like send something in for like hand-to-hand combat?" And I was like, my jaw's like numb. I'm like, yeah, I'll figure it out. I'll send it in tomorrow. So we do that, we send it in, and then they send us sides to do the scene where I'm flicking Cheetos at my Peacemaker, so that's my audition scene. And then I have an interview with the fight coordinator because he just wants to make sure that I'm able to physically do this role, because for season 1, every scene that Judo Master's in, he's in a fight with someone. And then about a week after, they called me to offer me the role, but it was under an alias. So it wasn't until a few days later that they emailed me about a costume fitting, and I saw later down in the email, I was CC'd on it, that said, "We found our Judo Master." And I was like, wait. And so I Googled it, and I'm like, I'm gonna be a superhero? That's so crazy.
And I think it's fair to say both your characters, and James Gunn did this with Guardians of the Galaxy too, okay? He took the characters, kind of went to the absolute kind of seed of it, and then took it on in his own direction. So, and again, both of them work for me. So that's your take on it. So, but yeah, that's not the first time I've heard people finding out about something because copied on a C roll or something like that, you know. So good on you.
Yeah. Mine was I've told this story a few times, so sorry if everyone has to hear it again, but there was another guy was cast in the role, and they shot already 5 of the 8 episodes. For me, it was, kind of an audition and self-tape, dummy sides. I think my character was called Sportsmaster, who's another comic character.
He's a villain who's a master of every kind of sport.
Which is, so I was confused because I was like, am I a bad guy? Because he seems to be a villain, but the scenes don't seem to be that. I think it was the scene, maybe it was the prison scene, and it was the scenes in the car with John, where I'm upset that but I don't know what the story is, so I'm like, apparently I'm upset that he let me get tortured, that I'm not showing that I'm upset. I was very confused as to what it was doing. And then, it was a weird thing of then getting notes from James, then doing it again, then getting a call from James. My manager was like, "James Gunn's going to call you." I was like, "I'm sorry, what?" James Gunn's going to call you at like 9 p.m. And then he was kind of explaining the situation, and it was like, so if he's in the mask, we're probably going to keep using that footage, but we're going to try and ADR it. So we're going to send you some stuff. Can you like either do the scene, but also like just do the vocals, and then it was very strange. And then once I got it, it was going to Vancouver. This is COVID, so it was a 2-week quarantine in a hotel, and then eventually catching up with filming. So it was a weird one.
Yeah, I'll sign on in, but you hit the ground running, absolutely. And when this hit the ground, I was like, okay, all right. And then about 4th episode in first season, I was like, this is the most James Gunniest thing that James Gunn has done.
Yeah.
which is a laudatory. That's not a criticism, just my take on it. Since this really went in all kinds of like just wonderfully wacky directions, for each of you, what was the craziest day you had on the set?
Craziest day.
You can go first. Because the craziest day, I should not tell you on camera. So you start.
The craziest day for public consumption.
Right.
Yeah. Oh god. Most of my reshoot days felt pretty crazy. It was intimidating because they'd already shot it before, and so someone had already done it. So those felt very intense. Although actually maybe the torture scene was pretty. It was like towards the end, but I had to do all the weird faces and tied up, and then we were improvising. It felt pretty hectic at times, but very fun to shoot. Maybe that, but nothing. Everything was pretty enjoyable. So I didn't have anything that was like insane. Oh, you know what? Us climbing in the trees.
Well, crazy not necessarily negative. It's just like the one day you're always gonna remember.
I mean, I remember getting a little scared because we had to get pretty high up and climb in some trees and do some jumping from branches to branch. I mean, we were harnessed, but they were like, "Yeah, I just jumped to that one." I was like, "What have I missed?" So that was they built fake branches to jump to, and I was like, I don't know, like John's going to jump from here to there, but you're on the outside, so you need to go to that branch. So yeah, I definitely didn't. I think they used whatever stunt double they could in those moments, and not whatever I did. Those are pretty scary.
I think the craziest day, aside from the non-PC one, is when we were doing the season 1 dance sequence. It was my character pops out of a hole in the ground, and then John hoists me on his shoulders, and it was a really cool thing to do. But like logistically, it was during COVID, so they got me in a 3 feet by 3 feet hole in the stage, and I was wearing my costume, which is like skin tight, and then I had a stunt harness underneath that, and then the belt, it felt like a corset, and then it was during COVID, so I had my cowl on, and then I had a COVID mask over it, and I'm stuck in this hole, and I'm like, regulate your breathing, and then our first assistant director was like, hey guys, Nuz in the hole, so we need to start shooting. I was like, yes, please.
Well, I gotta show that story because I had several requests up front. It's like ask them to do the dance when they come on out. I'm like, that's not good for me or whatever. And also, each one was different. So, which, by the way, were they shot all at once, or is it like a part of that weekly schedule?
I wasn't there for the first one, so I can't speak to that one. The second one we did in 2 days, I believe. That was my last day of shooting, which is great because I could drop the accent, I could just relax, I could dance, and it was really fun. So and I got to see a bunch of the cast that I didn't get to interact with while filming.
Yeah.
So I got to those are really fun days. I don't know the first one. Was it the beginning?
Yeah, for the first season, we did it all in one day. There was maybe like half of the amount of cast members as in season 2, so we didn't require that many. And I know for season 2, we had some not so good dancers, so it took a little bit longer.
What was your personal experiences working with Gunn? Because he seems like when you have his attention, he seems like very focused, and he really seems like an actor's director from all the other actors that have worked with him. And he says like, okay, let's have fun. So is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say so. I adore working with him. He's obviously an incredible storyteller, incredible writer and director, and he lets you do what you're going to do, and then he starts to like act with you because he's a good actor himself and he's funny. So you're kind of doing this weird thing where you're improvising with whoever you are in the scene with, but also you're improvising with James because he's giving you this gold on the megaphone. And so then you have to try and not laugh, but you're kind of like doing this weird creative thing with everyone, and that's why I think he's such an actor's director. He's kind of acting with you, and he's in the scene. You feel like he's in there with you, and you can hear him chuckling whenever it works on the thing. And
But it's not like line readings or anything like that. He's like,
No,
you're sharing the character in that moment and coming up with a distillation.
Oh yeah, no line readings. It's more just like, hey, he's kind of chuckling while I say, hey, no, say this, and I'll say that, and it's something really funny. Like I've ruined a lot of it because I just can't get it out because it's a good line. So yeah, and also I trust him, so I can, if he says, try this or try that, I know that I'm in safe hands.
Yeah, I remember when we were doing the Cheeto flick scene in season 1. It was me opposite Peacemaker, and we're just like hurling insults at each other, and James on the mic just like, say this line, and I see Vigilante in the corner. He's supposed to be tied up like this, and then I just see him chuckling. It's hilarious. But to work with James, I think it's like such a dream for an actor, because sometimes you'll have a director, you'll get on set and they're like, all right, so you start here, you pick up the cup, you say this, and then you do that. Whereas you get on set with James, who's like, all right, let's see what you guys have come up with. And then we run through the scene just as we would do it. And he's like, okay, cool. So yeah, let's set up the camera here, capture this. And so it's much more organic as an actor to work that way. And he's just so like collaborative, yet he's so prepared. And I think in that preparation, he always does like a storyboard. So he knows what he's looking for, but he also gives you room to play and explore and see whatever happens.
Oh, very nice. What's for each of you? What's been the best thing to come out of this particular gig?
I mean, just being able to play this character it's been such a joy. I get to play such a sort of multi-leveled character, and getting to play that character, and also just the friends we made. Like I genuinely, like the cast we've gotten really close, and they've all been kind of a big part of our lives now. I think probably the people.
Yeah, for season 1, we were in COVID, so we weren't supposed to hang out with each other. So when we were doing season 2, it was sort of like a little family reunion, So we were all down in Trilith filming in Atlanta. So we just like hang out in our downtime and like go see shows together and movies. So yeah, it was really nice.
That's good. So thank you for indulging my capricious curiosity. I'd go out there and take some of the questions. Before I do that, on behalf of myself and this audience, I just want to thank you both. I want to thank you for your talents and your professionalism, the performances you brought to these roles, and your collective body of work. You guys have both done some really great stuff, and we're always going to be looking forward to the next project you guys work on. All right, who wants to start us off first? Oh, boom, dead center, okay. I like that. All right. Excuse me while I squeeze them. Hey, what's your name?
Julie.
What's your name?
If this is kind of a two-parter, if that's okay. If like
You can go first. I'll let it slide.
yeah. If there was a prequel for both of your characters, how would that go? And the other thing is more focused on to Freddie. Would you address would it address why he hates his mom so much? And who do you think would play Gut Chase? Like, I feel like there's a backstory that we're not getting for both of your characters, but I really want to know why you hate your mom.
Well, I mean,
Not as much as Polka Dot Man.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, you kind of answered it for me. That's what I was going to say. Is, they say in season 2 that, and quite seriously saying, his brother wasn't good to him. So, to me, that seems like a really interesting storyline. So, I mean, if there were a prequel, I think that would be a fun thing to go through. And because it would be fun to see why Vigilante is the way he is. Adrian's he's an interesting guy, so I'd like to know, just peel back a few more layers and see why. Yeah, so I think that's kind of where I want to go for that. And I mean, he is very mean to his mum. I'm sure some of that is maybe related with his brother and his family, so I don't know. He definitely had an interesting family dynamic. So that's where I'd want to go. How about Judo Master?
I think for Judo Master, it would be interesting for me to see how he sort of became like this little like jerk of a character. Because I think when I was portraying him, it was like he didn't really care about like observing etiquette or social norms. Like he'll eat with his mouth open, like he just doesn't care. And I think there's a freedom in that, but also like something has to have happened for him to have earned like sort of like that roughness. So I do always imagine like in the beginning he was maybe like a sweet kid, but then something happened and then now he's just a jerk to everyone.
I love how polite you are. It's like he eats with his mouth open.
It's called acting, guys.
That was a good one. Back over here. Hi, what's your name?
Hannah. What was
First of all, Hannah, are you old enough to watch this series? Okay, but the parental units say it's okay? Alright, can you put that on record? It was okay, she watched it with your permission?
Okay, it was okay. All into all the superheroes, and
I'm just covering ourselves. I'm covering them too. So, okay. Alright, Hannah, go ahead and ask your question.
What was your favorite episode to record?
I don't know.
My favorite is in season 2 when I think it was episode 7 when Judo Master electrocutes all those Nazis. I remember reading that in the script and I was like, did I read that right? And it was nice for a character moment where he, is a queer person of color to be there to rescue Leota, and they have a little moment in that safe house. I thought it was really nice.
I don't even know what episode it was. I think I really enjoyed scenes with John, and I think the scene when we had Goff in the jar, and we were doing a lot of that, James was improvising with us. I just remember finding it very difficult to not laugh in those takes. So I was like, I think that episode specifically, I just had so much joy making that, so that might be it. But also, again, I want to beat up Nazis. Killing Nazis is just like it's a theme here, but that was fun in prison as well. But maybe the scenes with John and with there, that was kind of my favorite.
Good one, Hannah, thank you. Alright, I'll take this over here and then over there. So, I saw you and then over there. Okay. Hey, what's your name?
I'm Jordan. So in season 2, how was it like, and what was the experience on trying to film with 2 Adrians?
It was pretty great. The wonderful Kellen Boyle, who I've become friends with since, played the other Adrian when we had to do the scenes together, and he was incredible. He knew both Adrian's lines perfectly well, and as soon as we would do the scenes, if I was doing something a certain way, he'd tweak his performance so that when we turn around, he'd shoot the other end, I was reacting the same way. And we just did it. We shot through it so quickly, and we had such a whale of a time. He's a wonderful actor, and he's the unsung hero in those scenes because he really made them great. And you will see I think in our scene together, there are some shots where you've got 2 vigilantes, and I'm pretty sure one of them is him. So he is in there. But yeah, they were a lot of fun to shoot, and James's writing is so funny. So yeah, it was great.
Hey, what you got?
Are there any songs that you associate very closely with your characters?
I think there's one that I started listening to, which I just happened to be listening to around that time, and it kind of gets me in that Adrian mood. I don't know if I remember the name of it. It's a video on YouTube. and it's Hobo Johnson and the Lovemakers or something, and it's like Peach Scone or something. He's like singing like live, and he's just like smiling, and there's this weird energy, and you can't not look away at this weird performance, but it's amazing. And I'd listen to that, and it kind of gets me into this to me, Adrian at his core wants to be loved and wants to have friends, and he wants to be with Peacemaker have him as his best friend, and he wants everyone else to. That's why season 2 to me, I was like he feels like he's part of a group more. So even though if they don't want to entertain his animal facts, but he's, so like to me that song like whenever it gets into this kind of like joy-filled place, that's kind of I would listen to that not all the time, but a fair few times before filming.
And then for Judo Master, there was a song in season 1. It was a Japanese like rock metal band called Bandmates, and I feel like that sort of captures Judo Master. It's sort of like alternative, like sort of like hard edge, but also like really girly. So I'm like, yeah, I feel like that's Judo Master.
Good one, thank you. Oh, round 2. Okay, what you got this time?
Tatiana. We were just talking about songs, so I was wondering, with all the songs that are in season 1, season 2, because songs are a big part of James' work, is there one that you really like, or is there one that you wish had been in one of those seasons?
I mean, I love the 2 intro songs a lot. I couldn't stop laughing. I think it was the last episode, just the lyrics of the I'm gonna F you in the heart, whatever it was. And they just say it over and over and over again. And just with the weird imagery that's coming in, that was like a very specifically kind of bizarre and funny and heartfelt weird song. That one like stuck out at me. But,
that's a fun one. I really like the one that's called 6 Feet Under. It was in, I think, episode 3, and they're like trying to find you guys in the dungeon or something, and it's like a slow-mo shot, and it was like, I think so pivotal in that scene. You're like, what's gonna happen, so I always like that song.
Good one. Hey, what's your name, what you got?
Hi, my name's Alex. I know a lot of actors usually have some gripes with their like superhero suits, so I was just wondering, like, what's your like opinion on your suit? Is it like comfortable to wear, like put on and take off? Like, do you have any like changes you'd like on it?
Yeah, so I don't like, my suit is not comfortable. I love the look of it, but sometimes if you see me like in between camera setups, I'm just sat at my chair, and I'm like, I gotta go to a Zen place because it's so uncomfortable, and like when I put on the cowl, it's like a little claustrophobic, and it like pins my ears back, and like everything's a little bit muffled, so it's not a fun time in there.
It's fun talking to her because his ears are completely covered, so he can't really hear you, but he's kind of trying to.
Yeah, it was tough. And in one of the first episodes that I was shooting, I was eating the Cheetos with the helmet on, and the crunch was so loud that I couldn't hear what the other person was talking or what they were saying, and I'm like, oh my god, I need to time this out before I can actually crunch, So, part of the job.
I know, I don't know, I think this is true. They were saying in one of the Batmans, it was Christian Bale and Bane, I think they couldn't hear each other when they were saying their lines in big fights, so one of them would like point at the ground to let him know that he's finished his line so he can start saying his line. That's literally I don't know if that's true, this is a side note. For my suit, it's not too bad, it's kind of a wetsuit material, and then you Velcro on all the pads and stuff, and there's a process. The helmet, it's the visor, like it's difficult when that's on because it steams up, you lose your peripheral vision, and it's dark and red, so like the dancing was terrifying. Like doing the dance, one of the moves, then it all had to just run off stage, and there's like the curtains, and then there's like a drop off. And when you can't see really anything, and then you just run into pitch black, and you have no idea if you're just going to completely fall on the stage, it was terrifying every single time. But they had magnetic like visor, so what I do in between takes is I just pop that off and hold it, and then I can at least breathe and talk, and then put it back on and go. But luckily I didn't have to do too much suit stuff this time. For season 2 at least.
Cool, good one. Hey, what's your name?
I'm Adam. Just curious what it's like working with someone you can't see.
You know what? John's actually still doing he still loves that joke. James is like getting more tired of it than John. John's like, no, he lives and breathes it. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Hey, what's your name?
Hey, I'm Zephyr. I'm kind of curious, did you have like a set buddy, like someone you gravitate towards, like in between shoots that you go and like yap with?
I mean, we definitely yapped a lot. Okay, fine. Steve Agee is who I hang out with. I mean, anyone who's we're pretty close in the group, so we were kind of all this. I loved finally in episode like 6 or 7 is when I got to do more scenes with the rest of the cast. So we got to hang out. We had a good time. We were definitely getting a little stir crazy. There was one of I think the scenes where we're getting out of the house and we were hanging out. It took a while to shoot. There's a lot of stunts. There was walls being blown apart, and we got a little cuckoo in the. It was like I think it was his bedroom. There was me. It was us and Jen and Steve and Danielle, and occasionally David as well. And there were longer days, and we didn't have much to do, so we started.
Yeah, it was the when Peacemaker tackles his dad in that, his brother in that room. So all of that cast was there, and we were shooting until maybe like 2, 3 in the morning, and we were like all a little bit loopy, and so there's a video floating somewhere, and I hope it never gets shown, but like we were like just dancing and like gyrating.
He's no. And he's moving very well. He's a bit body moving somehow. His rear arms. It's great. I really hope that surfaces somewhere.
It was really funny. It was the same day where in that scene they like he crashes through a wall. They crash through a wall, and there's like breakaway furniture. And Danielle, she didn't know that it was collapsible, like some of these set pieces. And so she sits down on a chair and it completely falls and she just sat there. She's like, and we couldn't stop laughing. And then like 2 seconds later, he's filming the most heart-wrenching scene.
Yeah. To be fair, they should have cordoned that off or like put tape around it saying don't sit on this chair, it's going to fall apart. But no one did. I guess she was the first one to sit there.
Good one. Hey, what's your name?
My name is Jared. My question is, what was your favorite line to say in Peacemaker Season 1?
I think for me it's ding dong bitches. Just because I remember reading in the script, I think he's supposed to just like enter and say ki or something. And then that morning I sent James like a list of maybe like 8 to 10 other lines that he could say in this moment, and so ding dong bitches I think just fits so well. And now my friend actually changes my text tone, so whenever I text him it would say ding dong bitches.
I don't know, I had so many good like one-liners from James. Maybe the prison one, there was like a really long one, I can't remember, it was like, which one are you, sister effing, sloth from the Goonies looking, something. Whatever it was, I learned those lines, so it was one of the audition ones, so I learned it, like, I was nearly at the back of my hand, and so then James at one point said, say it as fast as you possibly can, and that might have been the one that they used, I don't know, but maybe that one.
Hey, what you got?
Hi there, I'm Jill, and I'd like to know, looking forward, what are you looking to do in the future? What's a dream role that you might think you would like to be involved in? And would it include a spin-off role with 2 of you having your own show?
My perfect job would be us in a spin-off. I like doing comedy, so I think I'd like to stay in that space for now. I enjoy it. Something with a good script, a good story, but I don't have any particular characters in mind. I'd love to do a spin-off with us. I think our characters would be interesting together. Maybe there's too much madness between us. I think you need someone slightly more level-headed in there. But
Yeah, I feel like a judo master vigilante show would be crazy, but I think it would be very fun and like oddly maybe like heartwarming, you know, surprisingly. But I think for me it would be really cool to do like a zombie movie. I think those would be fun.
Would you be a zombie?
Hopefully not.
Well, you could be like Warm Bodies, you're just a zombie the whole time.
Oh, okay.
Hey, what's your name? What you got?
My name is Izzy, and I was wondering, since this is such just an absurd show, was there a specific scene or like thing that took the most takes for you to get through it without like breaking?
Oh, there are so many. I ruined so many takes. There was one that I knew I really wanted to go. It was an improv moment by James, and I really wanted it to go in because I thought it was so funny. But I thought it was so funny that I laughed every time, and I couldn't get through it. It was when we were trying to get Eagly to take the helmet and fly over. Eagly's not doing it, so then he had John just say like, Eagly, pick this up, and then he said like, Freddie, just to repeat everything John is saying. Like, you think that's helping, but it's really not. So he's like, pick it up, pick it up. And so like, no, go to Eagly, no, Eagly, go to. And we just kept doing it until John like turns around and he goes, just looks at me, and every time he turned around and gave such a good look, I just burst into hysterics. I really wish I didn't do it because it was so funny, but I just couldn't like keep a straight like the shocked face because it was just so annoying what I was doing. But I'm so annoyed I didn't get that right because I think it would have been great.
I think for me it was the van scene in season 2 where the team is assembling to go after Peacemaker. There was Steve Agee, Michael Rooker, Tim Meadows, Sol Rodriguez, myself, and Brandon, and it was just so funny just being there, and like half of the cast was getting motion sickness because we were on a green screen, and whenever you look out the window, it was like you're fake driving, and so your vision was crazy. And in the back, we would just keep making fun of each other in between the takes. So yeah, that was really fun.
Probably any scene with Steve Agee, because he's also going to get his phone out. He'll literally, if he's off camera, he just starts filming you. He starts like messing with you. He'll like, he's done a few there. He'll like look at you like, he definitely keeps the comedy going.
Yeah.
Rooker is one of the funniest people I've ever met in my entire life.
I love
just, whenever I've hosted him, he just goes out there and I play the straight man and he beats me up for a while. It's like, I'll ask a question, he'll cut it up, who's ever seen this? Who's ever done this? And then how we do, so you can ask me a question or what?
Yeah, that sounds like Rooker.
Yeah. Hey, what's your name?
I'm Anthony. I was wondering what your guys' favorite superheroes are.
Oh. Judo master.
He's obsessed with me.
Can you blame him?
Yeah, I don't know. That's tough. I don't know. I've always liked Batman. He's pretty great. Superman's cool, but he's also he's so super. Like, he's got everything, so it kind of something fun about Batman. I don't know. I'm going to say Batman. I don't know if that's the answer. It's tough. There's so many good ones, so I don't know.
I always sort of like the crazy girlies. So like Poison Ivy, like Harley Quinn. Like there's something off about them, but like you just love watching them. And I feel like some of their stories are written really well that you sort of empathize with, what they're going for. And they're so unexpected as a character. You never know what they're gonna do, so I love watching stuff like that.
Unless I can say Freakazoid.
Oh, and also Vigilante.
Runs on that Freakazoid. We actually had them here last year.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we had
That's not DC, it's Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers, which is DC.
All right, guys.
Yes.
Let's get
So it's
Freakazoid.
not impossible to have them cross over. So we have time for one more. I'll tell you.
I was patient.
Yes, okay, I'll let you start. Okay. What you got this time?
Okay.
I'll let you hold it. I trust you.
Anyways, I did like the other one I wanted to ask because Freddie, I talked to you yesterday about like going in and out of the different voices and like the actual like mechanics and doing all that. And I know you studied neuroscience, correct? Yes.
Yeah, I did neuroscience, yeah.
And I know that certain gestures, like educational, I'm sorry, I'm a teacher, I'm gonna educate for a second. Like certain things in your wrist and your hand gestures can actually affect your voice and everything like that. So when you were doing Vigilante and you had to do those big parts, did you, well, I don't know if you were sitting there actually thinking that kind of stuff, but did you find that any of that kind of helped you, like, as far as the gestures you would do to get the accent or the way that you wanted it to be done? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't think I did. If I did, it was subconscious. There were certain things I would do that was sort of physical, that would, kind of, whether he's playing with his hands or like, I know when I was crying, I was kind of sort of doing a self-soothing thing, but I don't know if I did anything specific for the accent that was him. But his movement and who he is kind of like maybe as a character I was thinking it, but I don't know if it was necessary for the linguistics, but yeah.
Good question. A round of applause for our educators. Lads, what project-wise is on the horizon you may be allowed to share with us?
I don't have anything I can share, nothing that I have to share really. James will let us know when he's got an entire universe to keep, secret, so yeah, you'll know when I know probably.
Well, not necessarily DC related, just anything in general, career-wise, if they had something in the hopper.
I will say that they get a little crazy if we say anything in terms of DC, and I know some other cast members are not so tight-lipped.
What do you know?
Yeah, so I mean, that's it.
Wow! I was gonna give you that. I got something so cool to tell you. Yeah.
Well, we will assume that good things are continuing to come from the DC universe, and we will continue to assume that good things are coming from you guys. So, we'll leave it at that. One final question before we let you go back to your tables. Do you want to take a picture of this lovely audience?
Yeah.
All right, everybody, you know the drill. Come out towards stage. Not on the stage. Come towards stage. Take a picture of these guys and all of you. They'll be heading back to their table in a little bit after this. Please stop on by. And don't forget, coming up next, we'll have Adam tuning at 12 o'clock.